Welcome to the fitness podcast Beyond the Workout, featuring your host, Coach E, where we give you health and fitness tips that go beyond the gym and help you along your fitness journey. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. Before we get to the show, I'd like to remind you that anything you hear from me, Coach E, Eric Dunstan, or from my guests related to medical treatments, nutritional suggestions, supplementation, exercises, and the like are not necessarily the views of this show and is not to be considered a diagnosis for your specific needs. Please consult with a medical professional or certified fitness trainer to get your proper evaluation. Now, let's get to this week's show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another show of Beyond the Workout. It's your host here, me, Coach E, Eric Dunstan. And I know that this show is actually following an interview you heard with Mike Johnson. I hope you enjoyed that show and was encouraged by it. I hope to have him back on. It was inspirational to me that, how he's going to keep trying to take care of his health despite the battle with cancer. And you know what he said? He doesn't look at it as being in remission, but himself as being healed. So I want to pivot now to this subject that I want to talk about because it still deals with your health. Now, as a health and fitness coach, I encourage people to look at their bodies as vital, as important as hey, this is what you got to live with, and you got to do your best to take care of it. Uh, as of by the time you hear this recording, I would have completed my journey or challenge, as some people call it. Journey has been a new word because a challenge sounds like something that's difficult to accomplish, but a journey is a remarkable experience if you make it that way. So the journey was what I mentioned a few shows ago called the NSNF30. Now, that's an acronym that I made up, and I'm proud of it because I made it up. But the acronym stands for no sugars, no natural flavor for 30 days. And basically, it's no added sugar. And if the ingredient says natural flavor or natural flavorings, I'm not touching it. Now, I want to do another show with my sister-in-law soon because she's also trying something for her health. And maybe we can go into more detail of my progress. But what I want to say is I did how would you say? I had less of my lightheadedness, dizzy feelings. I feel I did get sick, like with a flu bug for like 24 hours, I think it was. It didn't knock me out, but I think it was because I didn't get enough sleep. My food wasn't digesting well or something like that. But once my food digested and I got my rest, I felt better. In fact, I am actually recording this the day after my flu, my flu-like symptoms, which were in and out, quick and gone. And I attribute that to looking after what I put in my body. I make sure I put the right nourishment in there and take the right supplements. So this show is focusing on something that I've gravitated more so to and would likely encourage you to do the same, but do your homework like I've done. I listen to a lot of how would you call it? Functional medicine doctors. One in particular is Dr. Mark Hyman. And then I listen to Sean Stevenson. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's very popular in the nutrition world. Now, when you listen to their podcast, it sounds very technical and very scientific. Sean uses a lot of studies and data, and he talks to people that use these big words. And I don't want to talk to my audience with big words. I don't think big words actually encourage you to act. I think knowing that someone else has done it and someone else that is your age, someone else who has, figured out in his life what needs to be done and do it. So it's called implementation of what you hear these guys talking about. I mean, Mark Hyman talks about these big scientific doctoral words, and I can't even pronounce them, much less try to teach them to you. So, the one thing that I know they encourage is a lot of fruits and vegetables, berries, nuts. And this show, I wanted to focus on a word that's been thrown out there a lot and wonder how important it really is. But it's something that I've started to incorporate in my own diet. And the word is organic. Organic foods. Should you or should you not? So I did a little research. No, I didn't go to a lot of studies, but I have a couple here that kind of back up what is being said. The term organic actually refers to how certain foods are produced. So organic foods have been grown or farmed without the use of artificial chemicals, hormones, antibiotics, or GMOs, genetically modified organisms. So that's basically what organic is. And organically grown crops tend to use natural fertilizers like manure to improve plant growth. Animals raised organically are not given antibiotics or hormones. But some of these tests, these studies that were brought out, actually um, were powerful information concerning organically grown foods, because it mentioned that organically grown crops have more antioxidants and vitamins. And what one study had mentioned that the antioxidant levels can be up to 69% higher in these foods. Now, think about that compared to conventional foods, fruits and vegetables. 69, almost 70% higher in antioxidants and vitamins. It was a 2003 study found that organically grown berries and corn contained 58% more antioxidants and up to 52% higher amounts of vitamin C. So maybe we should consider organic in some areas, in some things. And at the end of this, I'm gonna tell you what you should get as far as organic is concerned. But the reason I do it is based on this fact here. Uh, you avoid artificial chemicals. You avoid those toxic chemicals, those fertilizers, those items that could be heavy far as metals are concerned. We don't know, sometimes we don't know what they're spraying on our fruits and vegetables, but we are consuming it. So the question then is, can we be careful? Can we wash it enough? Maybe, maybe not. But if we go organic, still wash your fruits and vegetables, even if they're organic. But make sure that um, you're trying to avoid those toxic chemicals. So there's one question that was mentioned in this article: do organic foods have health benefits? Now, there are some that say no. There is not enough evidence out there to have proven that it's much healthier to have organic than non-organic. So there's some things that you might have that's organic because it's beneficial for health, and all because of the chemicals I say that they use. But then some things you probably won't worry about. And another point that was mentioned in this article is that not all organic food is nutritious. And for example, you might see items like organic cookies, chips, sodas, ice cream. You might can have a little bit of that, but how much sugar is put in there? You know, that a high rate of sugar is not going to be good for your cells. It's not going to be good for your health. And you know how I feel about added sugars, too much sugar. Avoid it as much as possible. Now, natural sugars, hey, go for it. Go for it as much as you want. So, now, one of the things I want to mention from this article, which is important, is how to know if you're buying organic. Now, here in the United States, the USDA has set up an organic certification program, and that means that any farmer or food producer selling organic food must meet the strict government standards. So when you look at a food label, it if it's organically grown, it should say either these three things: 100% organic. That means this product is made entirely from organic ingredients. Organic, if it just says that, at least 95% of the ingredients in this product are organic. And then made with organic ingredients. Now, some of my teas have said that. The teas that I would suggest to you from Ticino, and when it says made with organic ingredients, at least 70% of the ingredients are organic. And I think on their labels, they mentioned 75% organic ingredients are used. So if a product contains less than 70% organic ingredients, it cannot carry the label organic or use the USDA seal or organic seal on their label. So basically, that's the gist of this article. Um, it was some points that I wanted to bring out about one of the points made in that article. It was a study done that says the micronutrient content of food groups was more frequently reported to be higher for organic vegetables and legumes compared to their conventional counterparts. So when you think about micronutrients, you're thinking about the minerals, the vitamins and the minerals. So again, that study, which I'm not going to be like Sean Stevenson and go through all these studies, it said that the um, the food groups frequently mentioned that it was higher for organic vegetables and legumes. So should you buy organic vegetables and beans and nuts and seeds and berries and things like that? Probably would be helpful. Um, and another study, let me see what I have here. It says the concentrations of a range of antioxidants, such as polyphenolics, I can't, polyphenols, were found to be substantially higher in organic crop-based foods, with those of polyphenolic acids, flavonoids, stilbenes, flavonones, and all of this other stuff. They were higher in these antioxidants. And I've learned something about polyphenols. It's important for your gut bacteria. So maybe you should get organic in certain foods. So what kind of foods should you buy organic? Produce and vegetables. Now, I'm not talking about your meats here, although I can tell you when it comes to your beef, your chicken, and your fish, particularly your fish. My beef I purchase now at grass-fed beef. And if you have a store in your area called Aldi, ALDI, I say it means Al and Diane, but Albert and Diane. So Aldi, that's my own names for their acronym, Aldi. But anyway, if you have an Aldi in your area, check out their grass-fed beef. You get a packet of two for a phenomenal price of like ribeye steaks. That's what I get. I used to buy the big pack of thin ribeyes from my food club, the Sam's Club, Costco type places. But I didn't feel too well after consistently eating that meat. So I said, let me go grass fed, and I don't do much red meat anymore. Maybe a few couple of days a week, if that, 1 to 2 days a week. And I'm getting free range chicken. Now you'll see some chicken that mentions may say fed a vegetarian diet. Be careful of that because we don't know what kind of vegetarian materials they used in that diet. But free range chickens are known to have a natural diet, and that chicken is supposed to be better for you. So I get that. And then with fish, please always buy wild caught fish. Farm raised, don't do it. Now I went to a Whole Foods some years ago, and I would get their salmon. It was farm raised salmon. And all of a sudden it wasn't there. And I'd say, wait, hey, where is your salmon? They had a problem with the farmer. They said this guy was not meeting their standards of what that farm or that fish should be, the environment that fish should be in. So that means like if it's farm raised, some contaminants from the ground could run into that water. I love that fact that Whole Foods did that, but do everyone do that? I don't think so. So a wild caught, I get frozen wild caught fish, salmon or cod in the big packets um, at my Sam's Club. So I get that for my fish consumption, and I have fish 2 times a week. It's much healthier for me. Will contain it's a good fatty fish and will contain less metals. My problem growing up is that I consumed a lot of tuna fish, and I've just learned that can be high levels of mercury in tuna fish, which is probably why I've had some of my issues health wise. And I've gotten off of that, and hopefully my body will eventually cleanse itself, but I might need to do more. So anyway, let's stick to the subject at hand because I wanted to get the meats out of the way because what should you buy organically? And there's an article in Eating Well that talks about the dirty dozen, 12 foods you should buy organic. Now, my I listen to, like I say, Mark Hyman, and he stresses this: do not buy, do not eat, purchase, consume, whatever you want to say. Avoid strawberries that are non-organic. And now I purchased the frozen bag of frozen organic strawberries because strawberries contain a lot of the pesticides that are used in farming, and that's not good for us. So please buy your strawberries organic. Spinach, it's recommended you purchase that organic. You can get a large tub of organic spinach from your local Sam's Club or your local Costco or whatever, BJ's if you have that in your area. You can get a big tub of that, and usually a large tub has about 5 servings in it. I usually buy the little tub of organic spinach from my local Albert and Diane store or Aldi, and I just put that on my eggs in the morning. It's like a little garnish, or put it inside my omelet. Um, so you should buy organic spinach because it mentions here that there were relatively high concentrations of permethrin, a known neurotoxin, were found in 76 samples, 76% of the samples of of spinach, non-organic spinach. No. So buy organic spinach. Now, the next one is kale, collards, and mustard greens. Unfortunately, I have not found organic collards in my local food store. Now, the where I get my produce, my kale, one of the best kale bags of kale, organic kale greens that I found was at Publix, Publix. If you have a Publix near you, they have a bag of organic kale greens. It has low amount of stems in it. The leaves are really not browning, and it works up well in salads. And when you actually pressure cook it, it breaks down really well. But it's recommended that the kale and collard and mustard greens that they be organic because it says 86% of the conventional leafy green samples, including kale, collards, and mustard greens, had detectable levels of two or more pesticide residues. It's 86%. Wow. You really want to be careful with getting that toxin in your not getting that toxin in your system. The next one was nectarines. It says over 90% of the conventional nectarine samples contain two or more pesticides. So I'm not really a nectarine person, but if you are, buy organic. Number 5 is apples. Now I used to get this apple from my local Sam's Club. I loved it. It was delicious. But again, this is one that Mark Hyman strongly recommends that you do not buy conventional. Buy your organic apples. They do taste well. Um, so I would go there because it says a large majority of samples, 80% contain diphenylamine. You know, I can't pronounce these. Diphenylamine, a pesticide that's banned in Europe. So apples, like many of the other fruits and vegetables on this list, have a thin peel, and as a result, the chemicals used in farming can easily pass through the peel to the flesh. So again, let's not um let's not consume non-organic apples. Grapes fall in that same category. It says more than 90% of all samples contain some traceable pesticide residues. Bell peppers and hot peppers. Unfortunately, I buy my peppers. If I do consume peppers, I don't get organic. Um, but it says here during testing, 101 pesticides were detected on hot peppers and bell peppers. 101 pesticides? I think I'm gonna change my tune on this. I'm gonna get my peppers organic. Hopefully I can find them. Cherries, it says over 90% of conventional cherry samples tested positive for two or more pesticide residues. Peaches, I love peaches. You should get those organic. It's hard to find a good peach, and when you do, get the organic kind. They do go bad fast, so um, buy it and consume it quickly. Pears should be organic. And I'm not giving you the count where I am on this, but you can always look this up. Number 11 is blueberries. It says, according to the EWG, 9 out of 10 of the blueberry samples tested had residues of pesticides. In some cases, more than 17 different types of pesticides. Wow. And I think EWG is Environmental Working Group. Correct me if I'm wrong. That means you have to reach out to me. And number 12 was green beans. I'm not a big fan of green beans unless Michelle makes them. She makes them real good. And sometimes I think we do get them organically. I'm not sure. We don't have them that much. So it says similar to blueberries, 9 out of 10 of all green bean samples had pesticide residues found. More than 70% of green bean samples had two or more different types of pesticides. So that's the dirty dozen, what's recommended that you should buy organically. So let's go down that list real quick. It says it's strawberries, spinach, kale, collards, and mustard greens. Number 4, nectarines. 5, apples. 6, grapes. 7, bell peppers and hot peppers. 8, cherries. 9, peaches. 10, pears. 11, blueberries. Number 12, green beans. So perhaps not everything need to be organic, because in the end, it's found that non-organic foods, as long as they're fruits and vegetables, are still good for you. I would just clean them really well. But I'm gonna suggest of those dirty dozen, please make the choice of buying organic. And I want to conclude this with one thing, ladies and gentlemen, and this is very important to each and every one of you. Do not worry about price. Your health is more important than the price you pay for food. If you buy cheap, you put in cheap, it's not good for your body. Don't do it. Don't put cheap ingredients in your body. Don't take chances with your body. This is the only body you have right now. This is it. You want to take care of it until you, I guess, in the grave, take care of your body. Do the best you can. And why not, test these things out? See how it makes you feel. Do more than just the ordinary. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be strong to you about this too. If you do non-organic of these dirty dozen, fine. Who am I to tell you not to? You might say, hey, you don't, Coach E, you don't know my budget. And I don't. But I'm gonna tell you this. If you can avoid anything with added sugar and natural flavors, let's do that. Let's avoid it now. Because I did a show that mentioned about natural flavors and all of the chemicals that are put in those natural flavors and how they can have a terrible effect on you. So I just wanted to get that out, and I hope it resonated with you. I hope when you make your next grocery run, you'll look at uh, you'll think about these 12 dirty dozen things you should consider to buy organically, and your meats. Remember, I do grass fed. You don't have to, but I would recommend just try it like for 30 days to see how you feel. The chicken, free range. Try it to see how you feel. And this one is just no option. Wild caught fish. That's it. No option. No farm raised. If it says farm raised, leave it on the farm. Leave it there in the store. Walk away and look for wild caught. Okay, well, I hope this really helped you. As a coach um, and I guess trainer and fitness enthusiast, and I have a certification in nutrition. I love listening to functional medicine doctors. I love doing these podcasts. I want to encourage you to go out there and make awesome choices about your health. Don't skimp on your health. Take good care of yourself. And until next time, until next show, this is Coach E signing out.